Growing up, my father was always in my corner and supported my future. He would consistently tell me that I would go to college and make something great of myself. When I was young, I would think, of course, it's so easy to go to school and do great things. My father was not only my #1 supporter, but also a black male felon and alcoholic. It was not until I was in high school that I realized the obstacles that I faced in order to get where I am today. My mother did her best to support me, but our low income and lack of resources held me back as well. I felt alone in my challenge to succeed and eventually attend a rigorous university. In the beginning of high school, I was mainly focused on navigating my home life, particularly the broken home between my mother and father, and on school. I certainly still thought about college, but had no idea about how to get there. That's when I joined College Bound. I studied hard for the ACT with College Bound prep courses, and even got excited about applying to colleges, until the most traumatic event of my life occurred. Just as my last high school winter break started, I felt a sudden urge to check on my father. He was diabetic and lived alone. I had not talked to him for a couple of weeks and wanted to see if he was all right. I called, and his phone told me his voicemail was full. I decided to visit him in person, and my CB coach was already taking me home, so I asked him to drive me. I had a growing feeling that something was not right. I was with Zach when I found my father dead in his home. Within half an hour, CB had 3 people there with me: Zach, Scott, and my CB therapist I had been seeing for the past year. Together, we called the police and reported the body. College Bound began to offer their support immediately and even helped me arrange the funeral services. I could have felt alone in my challenge to figure everything out: bills, my father's belongings, relying on my mother to support me. All of this while still getting college applications together and working on my financial aid. And still, all of that was going on while I was dealing with the overwhelming emptiness of not having my father anymore. But the College Bound team rallied behind me so that I wouldn't get off track. In the following weeks after my father's death, I applied to a total of 14 different colleges with the help of my senior coach and the director, Debbie Greenberg. I eventually had 2 fully funded college acceptance offers, and I ended up attending Lehigh University in Eastern Pennsylvania. Not only did my coach help me secure a full ride to a prestigious university, but with my connection to College Bound, I was able to apply to the Hillman Scholars Program. I was one of the first students to receive a yearly scholarship from the Hillmans, a dedicated family who are helping students just like me and pursuing their academic and career goals. Once I was actually in college, CB helped me accomplish anything I wanted to do. I always had multiple coaches edit my internship essays, emails, and letters written to other professionals. The summer after my first year, I assisted a Washington University professor of the Brown School in writing a book, and I canvassed in local elections. I also decided that I would major with a Bachelor of Arts in Earth and Environmental Science and Art History. Given my major in earth science, I spent my final summer as an undergrad studying geologic formations in Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana. After the geology class, I was offered the opportunity to complete a senior thesis. I took it, and I spent my final year of undergrad analyzing soil samples to determine the climate they were created in. I defended my research at a geology conference in Portland, Maine, and that was also fully funded by my university. Of course, as a soon-to-be college graduate, there's always the question of whether I should go to school or get a job. I essentially decided to follow neither of these routes. Last December, I officially accepted an offer to become a Peace Corps volunteer. I will be working in Senegal, Africa, for 2 years as an agricultural specialist. I chose Peace Corps because I love to work in other countries, as my time in Uganda as a rising junior taught me. And I want to explore testing my knowledge in earth science and using my skill set in real life. And my real life is just beginning. My name is Eliza Dent, and in 2 days, I will be graduating from Lehigh University. With my 2 majors. With all of my success throughout college, there are still times where I feel like that teenager who lost her father in one of the largest transitions of her life. Because he supported me so much, I am crushed by the fact that he's not here to share in my successes. He's not here to witness either of my graduations or what my life will become after. But I find solace in knowing that he would be exponentially more proud of me now if he could see the woman I am today. Ambitious, resolute, and confident in my ability to keep growing and never be complacent with where I stand in life. For most of my life, I considered my father to be one of the only people that truly believed in me. But in working with College Bound, I now know there are so many who have invested in my future. You have invested in my future. You are CB. And I want to sincerely say thank you for supporting my dreams. Thank you.